The pregnancy test lay on the bathroom counter, 2 bold lines glowing like a verdict. My hands trembled as I stared at it, my reflection behind the glass looking like a ghost. "You're pregnant," I whispered, my throat tightening. Sophia smiled faintly, eyes glistening. "Yes, you're going to be a dad." For a second, the world felt weightless. Then, something didn't fit. We hadn't been intimate in weeks. Not since that night she said she needed space and stayed at her friend's apartment. My chest constricted as her smile faltered under my silence. "You're not happy?" she asked, voice trembling slightly. I forced a smile. "Of course, I am." But inside, something dark stirred. The next few days were a blur of forced joy and quiet suspicion. Sophia hummed while cooking, scrolled through baby name lists, and avoided eye contact when I entered the room. The tension wrapped around us like humidity, thick, suffocating, electric with unspoken truths. At night, she turned away from me in bed, clutching her phone under the blanket. Once, at 2 a.m., I heard a muted laugh, a man's voice through her speaker before she hurried to the balcony to get air. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, my heart pulsing with denial. She wouldn't. Not her. Not Sophia. But the whispers grew louder. Her sudden mood swings. Her new lingerie. Her evasive answers. The way she flinched when I mentioned her girls' weekend. So, I did something I swore I'd never do. It was Thursday night when she said she had a prenatal checkup. I told her I'd meet her there, but she refused. "It's just a consultation," she said too quickly, kissing my cheek and rushing out the door. I waited 5 minutes before following her car. She didn't go to the clinic. She drove to a downtown hotel. I parked 2 blocks away and followed her from a distance. Her pace quickened as she entered the lobby, her red coat catching the golden light of the chandeliers. I waited near the revolving doors, pulse hammering in my ears. 10 minutes later, she came back down, but not alone. 4 men exited with her, laughing, one with his hand on her waist. She looked radiant, carefree, wild, alive in a way she hadn't been with me in months. And I broke. I took a photo. Not for revenge, not yet. Just to remember the moment everything changed. When she came home later, smelling of perfume and guilt, I sat in the dark living room. "Where were you?" I asked softly. She froze. "I told you. The doctor." I showed her the photo. Silence. Then her breath hitched, and the color drained from her face. "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what I should think, Sophia. Because right now, it looks like my pregnant wife spent the night with 4 men." Her lip quivered. "It was stupid. We drank. Things happened. But you have to believe me, it didn't mean anything." My voice cracked. "You don't even know whose child it is, do you?" Tears streamed down her cheeks. "It's yours. I swear." I wanted to scream, to break something, to collapse. But all I did was nod. "All right." That was the night I decided how to end it. Over the next few weeks, I played the part, attentive husband, expectant father, loyal fool. I attended appointments, held her hand, and listened to her talk about nurseries and strollers. All while collecting evidence. Photos. Messages. Call logs. DNA tests. The day the baby was born, I was there, smiling for photos I'd never keep. The nurse congratulated me as I stared at the tiny, wrinkled face in the crib. I felt nothing. 2 days later, when the DNA results came, I finally felt something, clarity. 0% match. I waited until she was discharged to make my move. I set the dining table for 2, candles, her favorite pasta, the illusion of love. She walked in, surprised. "What's all this?" "A celebration," I said. "For our new beginning." She smiled. Tentative, fragile. "You forgive me?" I slid an envelope across the table. "Completely." She opened it, eyes widening as she saw the photos, the text logs, the DNA report. Her face turned pale, her breathing shallow. What is this?" "It's my freedom," I said calmly. "And your ticket out." She started to cry. "You're divorcing me." "No, I said, leaning back. You are. You'll sign everything over to me, the house, the car, the joint account, and disappear. In exchange, I won't ruin your life with this evidence. You'll get a clean exit. Her voice cracked. You can't do this. I smiled. You already did. A month later, I posted the house for sale. The baby she'd claimed was mine wasn't my problem anymore. I found out she'd left the city, probably with one of them, or none. One night, I drove to that same hotel and stood outside under the flickering sign. I watched couples come and go, laughter echoing against the cold night. For the first time, I didn't feel anger or grief. Just relief. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. It's about reclaiming control over the ruins. When people ask why I never remarried, I tell them the truth. I did once. And I buried that version of me the day she lied with a smile. Now, I live quietly. Alone, but not lonely. And whenever I think about her, I remember the 2 pink lines, the ones that didn't mark a new life, but the end of mine.